Well, Gaffer, it's Carlisle United in East London tomorrow, and games really don't come much bigger than this for us.
No, brilliant game. Big game. Probably the most important game of the season so far. But what a brilliant game to have. Hopefully a full house, good atmosphere. Carlisle, to be fair, when we played them up at their place, their crowd were terrific. Made it really difficult for us, so I'd imagine they'll be loud as well. So yeah, just a brilliant game. But in fact, a great weekend for League Two, with obviously all the top six playing each other.
Did you learn much from the reverse fixture? Obviously, I know they had 10 men, but from playing them last time, what did you learn?
Not really. We've changed quite a bit. They've changed a little bit, but we still expect them to the way they play. They don't take many risks. Our centre halves are going to need to head the ball a lot. We're going to need to defend really well, defend long balls, and be wary of the counter attack, because I think in terms of the way that they play direct and the way that they counter, they're up there with one of the best oppositions in the league.
No, Owen Moxon's been one of the players going to catch in the headlines this year, especially for Carlisle, with a number of assists. Is he one of their danger men from your point of view? Yeah,
he likes to run in the box in midfield. He was a good size, good athlete. So I went to watch him last week against Bradford away. I thought the first half he was good, and to be fair, second half Bradford controlled the game. So like I say, we'll need to defend very, very well, but I think we've got loads and loads of weapons where we can hurt them.
Kind of mentioned it a minute ago there, but it seems like this weekend it kind of feels like it could be quite a decisive one for League Two and maybe the overall outlay. Obviously nothing's decided this weekend, but it does feel like a big one.
Yeah, don't care. Only care about our result. In the last 2 or 3 weeks, myself included, been guilty of it, looking at other games. This week I don't care. Just make sure that we turn up, we put on a performance, and we get a win.
Come back to it. And then in terms of your squad and the message this week, obviously we saw Saturday that the Hartley Pill game and conceding the way we did, maybe potentially kind of repeating what happened in previous games. What's been your message to the squad going into this weekend?
I think the Hartley Pill was a little bit different. I think the home game against Grimsby away was a really, really good point, because they were on high. He was playing, I think it was Southampton the week after, and he went and beat them. So a point was away on a difficult surface, windy. It was, they're a decent team. Then Colchester we just didn't see it. You think you're seeing the game out 2-0 and just a moment, lapse of concentration, and all of a sudden 2 points have gone away. I think that we didn't turn up against Hartley Pill for large periods of the game. We didn't get the rotations or the work that we wanted to do against them, and that was disappointing. But they could have nicked it at the end, and you have to give us credit, because the lads actually dug in and fought and made sure we didn't lose a game against a team that have got a new manager, that have drawn the previous 4 games and becoming difficult to beat. So they're the positives, but we need to get back to our identity. I think we lacked a little bit in the last couple of weeks. Our identity has disappeared a little bit. So let's get that back, full of energy, front-footed football, and let's get back to it.
So when you say kind of get back to identity, is that more of a focus on mentality than in terms of personnel and changing too much?
Luke, everybody this season, you look at Sheffield Wednesday. I went to watch Sheffield Wednesday the other night against Cheltenham, and Sheffield Wednesday have won, not unbeaten in 23. They then lose to Forest Green, which at the Forest Green's first winning at 10 or 11, I don't know, and then they lose against Barnsley, and then they sneak to lose 2-0 down against Cheltenham. It's this time of year, so we had a staff meeting, not a staff meeting, sorry, a club meeting on Zoom. I think you was on it, yeah. Everybody gets nervous, and I spoke to the owners about, this is what they paid their money for. You pay your money to get to this part of the season and be nervous, so we have to go through it. I'm nervous. Everybody's nervous. I was a lot more nervous last year when we was going to Hartley Pill away and we was on the trapdoor of the Football League. So I get it. The most important thing is, when you're nervous, embrace it. Don't go into your shell. This is what we've been fighting for since day one. This is why we train Monday to Friday every single week. We dedicate our lives to this, to get in a situation like this. Don't listen. Butterflies are really good, and when you play with nerves, it gives you that edge. So I'm getting that now. I want the game to happen quickly because of the disappointment against Hartley Pill, even though it was a draw, and I can't wait for this month where it's Saturday, Tuesday, and we just plough on through.
Well, that's going to be my next question. Obviously, in terms of games coming fast, 8 games in April. I mean, what kind of challenges come with that, and what kind of benefits come with that?
None, because we've got a fully fit squad. There's only Theo who is unfit, and obviously Dan Happ might make the last 3 games of the season. Theo will probably be fit for the Easter weekend. Could have potentially been on the bench for tomorrow's train today, but he just feels a little bit apprehensive. So we just need to be careful with him. Other than that, the squad is fit. We just got 4 or 5 now that have come back from fitness, but obviously their energy levels are not quite where they should be. And then obviously we've got Idris El Mazouni who's going through Ramadan, so we need to be careful with him and make sure that he is ready, and obviously his energy levels are at his full pelt, because he's a player that does run a lot.
In terms of those players, obviously we saw Rob Hunt and Jordan Brown both back in action at Hartley Pill. How have they come through it, and how big a part can they both play?
Well, I think Jordan's been outstanding wherever he's been asked to play all year. Hunty for me is, whether you're playing right back or left back, same with TJ. I think they're two of the best full-backs at this level, can most definitely step up. And Jordan now will give us an extra dimension to midfield. Listen, Prats and Iddy and Craig, when they've played, have been brilliant. But Brownie gives us something different, where he's got that range of passing. He gives us a composure. He's good size. So, I'm really pleased that both of them are back fit.
Another one as well, Jordan Lydon. I know we've not seen him feature in a while, but I imagine he's fairly close.
He's back fit. He's trained. He didn't make the bench last week because obviously we decided to go with Craig. In the last week, 10 days, he's trained excellent. So again, he's in contention.
Yep, so obviously back to this game against Carlisle, and you mentioned about the atmosphere and how we can see another sellout here at Brisbane Road tomorrow, and I guess it's probably an atmosphere and an attendance kind of worthy of the game, hopefully.
An attendance and atmosphere worthy of the game. I've seen that documentary recently on YouTube about riots and relegations. And when I first come to this club, it was a case of, listen, my remit is top 7. Let's try and get in the playoffs. Let's see if we can win promotion. And managers and players are selfish. We want it on our CV. I want to achieve promotion. But then pretty quickly, when I'm made aware of that and seen the history of this football club, it actually changed. That's not just my remit to get in the playoffs. It's to give the club back to the supporters. And I think that Nigel and Kent have done a tremendous job in terms of financially, from when the Italians obviously left it in a mess. They've come in, bought the club, and put it on a real sound footing now in terms of financially and the way that it's structured, which is brilliant. And then obviously, Justin was on the way to giving the club back to its supporters. And I see this club has soul. A lot of supporters every supporter moans about the football club, and this is happening. Whatever, this club has character, it has history, it has soul. So when I actually watched the documentary, even though I wasn't involved, it actually touched me. So think back to 6 years ago when we was in that mess, financially and on the pitch, and look where we are now. So I'm not there yet. I need to do better, especially than in the previous 2 weeks. But we've gone a long way to giving the supporters their club back on the pitch. This group of players have been outstanding all year. So we're not quite there yet. We're close, but let's fully give the club back to the supporters, and the supporters have been brilliant all year. So we're nearly there in terms of giving you the club back. We just need to finish it off, continue the atmosphere. We do need to improve the atmosphere at home, especially with the numbers that we're getting. But we're close, and hopefully one day we'll give you the club back properly.